A pleasant good morning and welcome to the program Integrity Watch. Integrity Watch is a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It runs from 11 to 12 noon and it is a primary radio-based communication and information dissemination platform of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is a key advocacy tool that provides essential information around the state of the fight against corruption, national integrity building efforts, transparency, integrity, and evidence-based decision-making across all sectors of Liberia. Under CENTAL's National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program, funded by the government and people of Sweden through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, or SIDA, the radio program serves as a coordination, engagement, and advocacy platform that rallies citizens and other stakeholder support for the fight in bad governance. As part of this program, CENTAL has established the Advocacy and Legal Advice Center, known as ELAC. The ELAC is an independent platform that enables citizens to freely report and seek redress to corruption and other integrity-related issues. We encourage our citizens to report issues about corruption and integrity related to our ELAC via the following means. We have the email address. The email address is CENTAL ELAC. It's elac@cental.org.lr. So it's ALAC@CENTAL.org.lr. We also have the Facebook address that you can contact us on. The address is CENTAL ELAC. We have short code number that you can call to report issues about corruption to ELAC. We have walk-in services. You can walk in. CENTAL is located just opposite the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. Just come upstairs and report issues about corruption. If you need legal advice, you can have access to legal advice. Want to have access to information, we can assist you access information as well. It's a one-stop shop, so we can assist you in the process of whatever you want to acquire. As part of this effort, we have partnership with the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, so we obligate ourselves to ensuring that we announce the LACC number so that our citizens can report issues about corruption as well. So the LACC has hotline numbers that people who have issues about corruption, who have leads to corruption-related matters, for them to be able to report those matters to the LACC. So the hotline numbers are 0555 395 728. Again, 0555 395 728. That is for you to contact the LACC regarding corruption matter. If you have no business to call, do not call. If you have any information about corruption-related issues, call these numbers that I'm announcing. or if not, do not call the number. And the short code number to call the LACC, 4048. 4048. That's the short code number to call the LACC. And you have the orange number to call the LACC as well. 0776 6050. 0776 6050. Those are the numbers to call the LACC. Again, these numbers that we are announcing, they are intended for people to report issues of corruption to the LACC. And we're going to announce the number later on for our CENTAL program that you can call to report issues about corruption and integrity related. You want to have access to information, you can call our ALAC program and can have, if you need legal advice, you can contact our ALAC program. So we announced the number later. We have one short code number. This will be announced later. So discussion on this platform, they are very civil and informative. So we have zero tolerance on the use of invectives and denigrative comments on this platform. Today is Wednesday, September the 29th, 2021. Excuse me. And this edition of the program, Integrity Watch, is going to be going to be discussing CENTAL's State of Corruption report that was launched yesterday in Monrovia. So CENTAL conducted a survey on the state of corruption in Liberia, and that report was launched. And the report was conducted in 7 counties. And we have 601 respondents. It was conducted from June to July, in June and July. So the research was conducted from June to July. So we're going to be discussing that report. We launched the report yesterday at a very elaborate program at the Cape Hotel in Marban Point, where dignitaries, the members of the diplomatic corps, and other officials of government were in attendance. But before we start and go to the report, let us talk on few little things, other little things that matter. Other little things that matter today, we will talk about a couple of issues, beginning with the allegations and reports about secret killings. And the wave of insecurity that we are experiencing in our country nowadays. We are concerned about these allegations that people are found almost every morning, every day, or every other day. Discovery of bodies, people believed to have been killed for ritualistic purposes, and others who died under suspicious circumstances. We continue to witness these things across our country, and continue to listen to testimonies from people believed to be survivors and victims of these crimes. We are seriously concerned. We are concerned because it involves the safety of our country. The entire country is in panic right now, especially Monrovia and its environs. People are living in panic. When your relative is leaving the home to get out, you are afraid and you are so careful, telling them to be careful, where to go, when to leave the streets. And as early as 8, the streets are empty already. We are concerned. These are things that warrant us talking about it, so that the state or those who are concerned can take the appropriate actions. We are also concerned, we talked about insecurity. We are also concerned about people who are roaming the streets as early as 7 in the morning. If you get on Broad Street, you see a group of men are parading the streets, walking between the cars. And when they see something in your car, they open the car, break into the car, open it, and take what they want to take, and they walk away. That's almost a frequent matter now on Broad Street. I'm not talking about in the corners, but on Broad Street. The first place will be Broad and Johnson Street, right before the traffic light. When vehicles are lined up in the traffic there, those guys will be walking between the cars and looking in the cars. As soon as they see anything they want to take, they'll open the car and take it. And the discussion part of it is people will be standing up and looking at them as though they're witnessing a movie. It has happened twice in my presence. The guys will just walk the car, open the car, take what they want to take, and they walk away. The victim will be crying for people to help, and nobody will want to help them. Those guys will walk freely as soon as they get on Lane Street, they're gone. And store materials, phones, and not gadgets right on Kere Street. Police authorities, we want to bring this to your attention. This has been there for years. You have a group of men standing right on Kere Street every day from morning to night. They are there to buy stolen materials. And our information is that they even send people into the field to go and collect and steal from people and carry to them so that they can buy from them. You go there and tell them what type of food you want. They will tell you come by in so time, and they will send their agents to go and steal from people, and they bring it, and you go there. The time they will show to you, you go and find the phone with them. The black market is right on Kere Street, and the police authorities see those things happening every day. I spoke with my colleague Moses this morning, and just on my way here, I followed up with him again. He told me that the police is going to be having a press conference today by 4. So we should wait and listen. Maybe they will address those issues. I'm raising it because I want them to address those issues today. The security of our people is seriously at stake. The safety and well-being of our people, we are concerned about it. We need to ensure that our people live in peace and a room about in peace. People cannot be walking on the street and they are fearful that something might just happen at any point in time. And when you get in on vehicles, you are afraid, thinking what may be the next option in that vehicle with you. Where are you going to end up? I mean, these call for concern. So the police authority will look up to you to address this issue, and we hope they are going to be addressed in your press conference today. The next issue we want to talk about is the issue with the executive mansion. Recently, Madam Keita, the coordinator for special projects in the office of the president, was accused of soliciting kickback from an investor. When the matter was reported by Front Page Africa, kudos to Front Page Africa for their investigative report. When the matter was reported, the president acted, or he acted in a way that we were confused. We were confused not that we didn't know, not that we doubted the president's action, but rather what we were confused about is the institution that is legally responsible for investigation of all corruption-related matters is the LACC, that is the Liberia Anti-Corruption Mission. The LACC, the staff, the folks at the LACC are being paid. They are investigators, trained investigators at the LACC. They are being paid for investigation. We have department only for investigation at the LACC. The president chose to rather send the madam to his legal advisor. It was surprising to know that our follow-up tells us that the legal advisor, Councillor Archibald Bernard, has been out of the country. I called Smith this morning, and he confirmed that Councillor Bernard has been out of the country. He came a day or two ago. So that matter. And Smith said to me that he's not very sure that the man who is in charge of the office will be out of the country and an investigation will be ongoing in his absence. So it means that that investigation has not commenced either. You see what we're talking? That investigation, our follow-up tells us that that investigation has not commenced from what Smith said today, because it is the legal advisor who's supposed to spearhead the investigation, but he has been out of the country. So he just returned to the country, and that situation occurred in I think a month ago. And the legal advisor has not been here, he just come. So Smith said he's hoping that he's going to make follow-up with the office of the legal advisor, and then we're going to follow up with Smith as well. We said on this platform that issues that we raise here, we're going to follow up with them so that we make sure that there are redress to those issues that we'll be raising on this platform. So our follow-ups will continue to make sure that we provide our audience with the relevant pieces of information that they deserve. So the facts around this, we're going to update you as we receive updates from the people who are concerned. So Madam Keita has that so far from our investigation, has not started investigation yet. The investigation concerning Madam Keita has not started yet. So apparently maybe since his return to the country, maybe a day or two ago, he started the investigation. That is not to Smith's concern, or yes, to his knowledge. So until he came in, we want to emphasize and re-emphasize this, that the security of our people, we are concerned about it. The issue on Broad Street needs to be addressed, and the issue on Carey Street needs to be addressed. You cannot have a black market, a very booming black market. People are there and transacting. Every day you go, there are people transacting. Every day they are transacting. So they send their agents into the field and they steal from people and they carry it to them and sell it. So that is wrong. The police authority and the government of Liberia need to make sure that these issues are addressed. That our police and state actors act and act swiftly. So listen to the police to hear what they're going to say today regarding these matters and issues about security in our country. We said today we're going to be talking about CENTAL's report. So let us take a break. As soon as we come back, we will start going through the report bit by bit. So let's take a break. Welcome back to the program. Integrity Watch is a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is aired every Wednesday on Truth 96.1 FM, and it is repeated on Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. So today we have come to talk about CENTAL's report that was launched yesterday, the State of Corruption report. So the background to this report, the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia is implementing a 3.5-year program. So the program is known as the National Integrated. It covers 7 counties: Monserrado, Grand Bassa, Riverside, Bonk, Nima, Bomi, and Bakulu. So these are the counties that the project covers. It started in August of last year, that is 2020, and it ended in August of this year. So that is the first phase. So under the first phase of the project, CENTAL is supposed to conduct research on the state of corruption in the country. So in June, CENTAL deployed debt collectors in the 7 counties. So the data collectors went to the 7 counties and they were able to sample views of Liberians in these counties. So the total of 601 respondents were interviewed. And there were different questions that were asked. So people responded to the different questions. So the report was launched yesterday, and in the report, 90% of the respondents, 90% of Liberians who responded think that corruption is high in Liberia. 90% of the respondents say corruption is high in Liberia. So there are others who also think 2%. Some of them also think that corruption is low. So we have 2% of the population, the sample size, 2% think that corruption is low, and 8% thinks that corruption is somehow. I mean, it's not low, it's not high, it's just there. So, and then you go to the respondents per county. In Bonk County, no, in Bomi County, 100% of the respondents, they think that corruption is high. In Bonk County, 95% of the respondents think that corruption is high. In Grand Bassa County, 95% of the respondents think that corruption is high. In Nimba County, 92% of the respondents think that corruption is high. In Bapolo County, of the respondents think 88% of the respondents think that corruption is high. In Riverside, 60% of the respondents think that corruption is high. So then the question follows. One question for the 2%, of the respondents cited rampant corruption allegations. So the allegations of corruption all over the place, those are things that informed their answer to the question that corruption is high. So 42% of the respondents say because there are a lot of news about corruption all over the place. So that I would think that I think that corruption is high. 42% say yes, that because of rampant corruption. And then those who think that 41% also think that because of lack of transparency and accountability. So because of lack of transparency and accountability, they think that corruption is high. So no transparency, no accountability. So people have the perception. Then different allegations. So those who believe that rampant rampant allegations of corruption for the 2%, lack of transparency and accountability for the 1%, lack of prosecution, 10%, corruption. Corruption is a custom, so that is corruption is just something that we just part of. It's just part of us. So 29% think that corruption, it's just part of us. So just leave that one. We just inside. Then public officers are corrupt. So 28% think that public officers are corrupt. So that's 28%. Unfair distribution of resources. People who think that corruption is high because there are we have unfair distribution of the country resources. We have 20%. Poor service delivery. People who are supposed to provide services, the services are supposed to go to the different communities and counties. The services are poor. So 19% say poor service delivery. Then 13% of the respondents, they say corruption is high because of unemployment, high unemployment. Then poor economy. So the economy is poor. So that's one of the reasons why corruption is high. So you got 10%. Then allegations are handled. So when allegations of corruption come out, they are not handled, and they just come out one time, two times, the next day it is dead. So they are not handled properly. So you got 7%. 7% of the respondents think that because corruption allegations are not handled properly. So others, you got 3% fall under the other category. So, and then what are the issues? There has been a lot of allegations of corruption under the period under review, and some have been investigated. Others have some of the investigations remain. Some of them were ignored. Allegations of corruption came up. Some were investigated, but some were ignored. And the one we just talked about in August, involving the special project coordinator with Madam Keita, will be reported solicitation of kickback. Those are some of the allegations and things that came up during the period under review. Then we go further into this report and to look at some of the key issues. So, government commitment to the fight against corruption. Is the government committed to fighting corruption? So, those who think that government is not committed to the fight against corruption, 66% of the respondents, they think that government is not committed to the fight against corruption. 24% of the respondents think that government is committed or somewhat committed to the fight against corruption. So 24% thinks that the government is committed and maybe somehow they are committed to the fight against corruption. So let's go the percentage of the respondents per county. So in Riverside County, 45% thinks that the government is committed to the fight against corruption. In Nimba County, 39%. In Bapolu County, 33%. In Grand Bassa County, 21%. In Monserrado County, 20%. In Bombing County, 19%. And Bond County, 17%. So these are percentage of people who think that corruption, government is committed to the fight against corruption, and among others. And then those who think that government is not committed to the fight against corruption. 54% of the respondents think that government is not committed to the fight against corruption. Then 33% of the respondents, they think that government is committed or somehow committed. So, and then let's go to that per county, to this aggregation, or per the different issues that were raised, the questions that were asked. So the commitment of the government, 54%, no action taken, 33%, no signs, 32%, corruption by public officers, 25%, no prosecution, punishment, you got 21%, post-service delivery, you got 18%, corruption deeply rooted, you got 16%, lack of political will, 14%, misappropriation of public funds, 9%, bribery in public services, 7%, and others, you got 2%. So the report, like we said, was launched, and these are the issues that were raised in the report. And we will encourage you to log on to our website to have access to this report. The report has been published on our website and our Facebook page. You can just log to www.cental.org.lr, and you just have access to the report so that you can be able to know what Liberians are thinking about corruption and how corruption is in our country. 52%, 57% of people think that medical services are most prone to corruption. So what are the services that are most prone to corruption? So they think that medical services are more prone to corruption. So people who go to the hospitals, go to access medical services, they think that that's the place that corruption is mostly seen. And you also have you got 56% of the people think that police services are most prone to corruption. So police services, they think that police is more prone to corruption, the services being rendered by the police. So you also have 34% of the respondents, they think that educational services are more prone to corruption. So educational services, 34% think that the educational services are more prone to corruption. Then 28% of the respondents also think that the court services, access to justice, they say court services are more prone to corruption, and that's about 28% of the respondents. So then you come to the services that are prone to corruption, the percentage, the rating of the percentage. Medical services, you got 57%. Police services, you got 56%. Educational services, you got 34%. Court services, you have 28%. 28. Court services, 28%. Electricity connection, 16%. Processing of land documents, you got 12%. Others, you got 8%. Seeking employment, you got 8%. So people who think that when you go for employment, you have to pay grab, pay kickback, you got 8%. Loan application, people who apply for loans to the different agencies or people that are providing loans, banks, institutions that are providing loans, they say 3% of the respondents. Water connection, That's the LWSC at 1%. You have tax payment services 1%. So to go pay your taxes again, they are alleging that there are corruption in those services. So those are the issues that were raised in the CENTAL's report. And we said the report was launched yesterday. And the stakeholders welcome the report, and they think that this report was done and it should be used by all concerned, all those who are concerned, so that we can make sure that we address issues that were raised in the report. So I want us to go to the recommendations so that we can have some discussions around this. So we can find the findings. The findings of the report. 9 out of 10 Liberians think that corruption is high in the country. So then majority do not have confidence in the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government to fight corruption. So we ask them, you say corruption is high, yes. Who do you trust to fight corruption in Liberia? They don't have trust in the executive. They don't have trust in the lawmakers, the legislative branch of government. They don't have trust in the judiciary branch of government. So all of the three branches of government, the people say they don't have trust in those branches of government to fight corruption in Liberia. 60% of reporting of those who witness corruption, you say, yes, I saw corruption, but then what happened when you saw corruption? What type of corruption you witnessed? So he said bribery was the most form of corruption they witnessed, and medical services was ranked most prone to corruption, followed by police services. Majority who identified medical services to be most prone to corruption were females. So most of the females were the one who identified medical services to be very prone to corruption. But all of the people who said, "Oh, corruption is high," this, we witnessed corruption, we were able to see corruption in this place, we saw corruption, we did this one. But then when you saw it, what happened? What did you do? That's the question we asked them. So when you saw corruption, you witnessed corruption, what did you do? So all the 90%, only 25% were able to report. So 95% were able to report corruption, and there are different reasons why those who didn't report, there are different reasons why they didn't report. So another source of corruption that was identified in this report is the national budget. The national budget has been identified as another source of corruption. So let's just tell you how it was identified as another source of corruption. Public resources are channeled through the national budget and end up in pockets of public officials through direct payment or indirect payment or backdoor deals. So they put money in the budget. The money is in the budget. Yes, it captured in the budget. It becomes a legal money. But then the expenditure of that money, there where the problem will be. So at the end of the day, they take the money, either go to their private hospitals, their private schools. For instance, Jeremiah Kun, he got a clinic in Ganta that's been funded in the national budget. You have Representative Samba Enoch, District number 4 in Monserrado County, District number 6, yes, District number 6, Monserrado County. He has school that's been funded in the national budget. You have, how you call him, Senator Sir Joseph. He was then chair on the Committee on Health, but then he was awarded contract by the Ministry of Health to provide ambulance services, even though he's a chair on health. He was a chair on health. And apart from that, the lawmaker was also instrumental in dismissing an official of the Liberia Medical and Health Product Regulatory Authority. So these are ways in which the national budget has been used as a tool for corruption. So they put the money in the budget, and then it ends up into either their pockets or ends up in their private use, even though it's scattered in the budget. Public integrated institutions are undermined, are underfunded. So integrated institutions that are in the front line, they are underfunded. They don't have money to properly operate. But the offices of government officials, they are highly funded. If you combine two of the officials, you can put all the money that's supposed to go to the different integrated institutions, you can put it together, and you cannot even reach the amount. Imagine just two officials. In this report, we were able to look at two officials, the speaker and the pro tem. So if you put the allocation for the speaker and the pro tem, if you put it together, the GAC, the LACC, the IAA, you put all the integrated institutions together, PPCC, you put all of their budget together, it cannot reach the money that goes to the two officials annually. So these are things that we were able to capture in the report. And the discretion of judicial discretion is often secured through extortion and bribery. So the bribery and extortion often play a role in obtaining favorable court decisions. For instance, judges often extort or receive bribes before releasing criminal defendants without bail. So if you want to, the discretion of releasing criminal defendant, it lies with the judge. So for the judge to make that decision, the report is saying there are usually kickbacks that can take place for those decisions to be made. So these are things that were captured in the report, and let us go quickly to the recommendation in the report. Oh my God. Okay, we will just take a few of the recommendations quickly, and we will take a few of the recommendations. So recommendation number 1, the recommendation says ensure accountability for abuses of power. So there should be accountability for abuse of power, build people trust, and ensure participation, safeguard independence, the independence and effectiveness of integrated institutions, prevent favoritism in service delivery and public contracting, protect those who are reporting corruption. So thanks to the government and the president, he submitted the Whistleblower Act and Whistleblower and Witness Protection Act, and we are hoping that the lawmakers will take action and speedily pass those instruments. And the report also recommended that the government should increase transparency around public spending, and also talk about strengthening the judiciary. The report is recommending that improve legislative oversight and accountability. Legislative oversight needs to be improved, improve participation, inclusion, and coordination. So participation and coordination needs to be improved. So those are things that the recommendations that are in the report. Like I said, you can go online and have access to the report, and so that you can know what's in the report. So yesterday, the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia released this report, and it captures all the different services that we just talked about. So if you want to, we can now have your input. We will be discussing this report bit by bit, and tomorrow we're going to continue with the discussion on ECOWAS Radio to discuss the report further. So if you want to participate on the program this morning, we can open the lines for your participation. The numbers to call 07701-75162, 07701-75162, 0886-474563, 0886-474563. And if you are following us live on Interpreted TV, you can leave your comment on our live Interpreted TV page, and we're going to read out your comment and questions. We're going to answer your questions. So the numbers again to call 077. We have our first caller on the line. Good morning. Okay, we lost that caller. The numbers to call to be live on the program 07701-75162, 0886-474563. We have a caller on the line. Good morning. Name and where are you calling from? Samson Reed? Let's hear you, Samson. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. Yes, interpreted institutions, they are struggling. The institutions are supposed to be fighting corruption. They don't have money to even deploy people in the counties. GAC, LACC, PPCC, government is not running only in Monrovia. The government is across the 15 counties, but you don't have money. The institutions don't have money in these counties. Investigators are supposed to be in the different counties, but LACC does not have the money to assign investigators in the county. But if you calculate, you check in the budget, their money put together cannot reach the money, the allocations that are going to individuals, government institutions. I mean, those are things that were captured in the report. The numbers to call 0886 474563, 07701-75162, 0886 474563, 07701. Government and people of Sweden through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, or CEDA. We have another caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Let's hear you. Your name and where are you calling from?
Well, I call you from District of Gardnerville, and my name is Apara Mfufana.
I'm all right. Yes.
I listen to you, and I listen to some of the basics of the argument. And these are facts that are unarguable.
Okay.
Project before the current, while people were challenged to find money to fight the COVID-19, that's the first wave. The government official, in fact, the chairman of Ways, Means and Finance, in person of Representative Tofala, were clamping down to putting money in the budget by a private institution. While government or public institution was given little or nothing. The Telegram were running out of drugs. The CB hospital were in charge of closing. The United Methodist Hospital in Ganta were rejecting patients. The GFK was an area of test for backup. Redemption is least to talk about.
Okay.
But the father was channeling money through the budget. And yet they see Representative Fala is the one that continue to preside over the waste, means and finance, and they continue to do these things until our international partner has also caught them on camera. So we did deny this also. This is not just a sin, it's a disgrace on this government.
Okay. Thank you.
Have people doing the wrong thing and you're pretending in the pool of hypocrisy and you say you're trying your best.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
It's your best. So this is frustrating. We can be paying taxes and our taxes are misappropriated and mismanaged properly, and you think we'll be encouraged to keep paying our taxes to thieves.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Amara.
You're most welcome.
Okay. And one thing we left out, we didn't talk about the city government of Monrovia, the Monrovia City Corporation, the MCC. The budget of the MCC was increased to 4 million annually. Why different city government, the Pinsville City Corporation, all of the city councils in the different counties, they don't even have money to operate. They don't even have money to operate efficiently. But the city corporation, Monrovia City Corporation, and we also gathered that there was MOU that was signed for the MCC to collect taxes in these different cities. According to them, taking a little bit of time in our favor. So you can call 0886-474-563, 077-01-75162, 077-01-75162, 0886-474-563. We have a caller on this line. Caller, your phone is grounding, but let's hear you. Good morning. I'm okay, and let's hear you.
Okay, I'm Gabriel Watson, calling on Wayward Street, Pinsville.
Okay, Gabriel.
Okay, what I heard from you that every corruption case will be reported to accountability. So when the president is taking case from any city accused to his ambassador, even ambassador, how can we carry cases to any city?
According to Smith, no, let me answer that question. Let me answer that question because I follow up on it on your behalf. I called Smith, and Smith said it is the president's prerogative to decide on who to do an investigation for him. However, what the law says the LACC is the legal authority to investigate all corruption matters.
And secondly, you said it was a law by whistleblower. So how can a whistleblower be information on such a thing when
No, the Whistleblower and Witness Protection Act, they are still before the lawmakers. They are still in at the lawmakers, the legislature, so that it has not been passed. So we are hoping that it can be passed so that it can protect witnesses and whistleblowers.
And the last thing I want to say is I did call you the last time, and I asked whether the official website with the labor division is working because some of them are retired, and with the women that one of the book gave us was very little. We are working for the past 30 years, and he gave us something like $250, $300 for a handshake. You know, and they give all half our salary a week, $7,000. So, for some who are well, we will pay and we get buy land, we get pay house, they're going to get all that kind of money. Are you investigating these things?
Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. I actually it slipped my mind. I was following up on these ones, so I'm going to follow up on yours and see how I can come back on this platform to provide whatever clarity needed. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I've noted that already. I'm going to follow up on it.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Thanks a lot. Okay. So you can be a part. You can put in your points at 077-01-75162. We have a caller on this line. Good morning. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Catherine. I'm calling from STD.
Catherine, let's hear you.
Okay, thank you, bro, so much for your discussion.
Okay.
And now, really, what you discussed about really, and the STD still living, you keep it full of discussion here in the social. We spoke to the foundation and want to put it down last before more
money is what I see at Cameroon election. We had a brother who not even know what we had it. We process our brother to put in there at least to see about it. All of people tomorrow for our family to go power. That what it means. Thank you. That what I have to say, brother.
Thank you so much, Kesali. The points are well noted. Okay, 0886 47 45 63, 0886 47 45 63, 077 01 75 162. Those are the numbers you can call to be live on the program Integrity Watch. Like we say, it's a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is every Wednesday on Truth 96.1 FM, and it is repeated on Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. So if you missed this one, you can join the repeat on Truth FM on Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. And on Saturday again is there. Do not call. Playing usually is a repeat. So when you hear it playing, do not call. So the numbers to call right now, 0886 474 563. We have a caller on this line. Good morning. Your name, where are you calling from? Okay, Rufus.
Yeah, I want to get something from you. You said something about the LEC. And you said that you believe that particular entity is something independent entity. That should investigate internet or corrupt crime or corruption. But I'm hearing saying that the president decides, if I'm getting right, then the president decides what to investigate, what kind of case. What I heard from you.
Thank you. I was.
What makes it independent?
Okay.
If the president will control the entity that's supposed to be independent, then how come? What makes it independent entity?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So, in response to your question, I was quoting the Deputy Presidential Press Secretary Smith Toby. Like I said, prior to coming on this radio, I spoke with Smith and to follow up on the status of the matter involving Madam Keita. Smith told me that it is I asked Smith why the president's legal advisor and not the LACC, and he said it is the prerogative of the president to decide on who to do an investigation on his behalf. And I was telling you the law provides that the LACC is clothed with that responsibility to do investigation of all corruption-related matters. So again, the program you've been listening to is called Integrity Watch. It is a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. Before we leave, let us announce our ALAC number. The number to contact our ALAC, the Advocacy and Legal Advice Center, is 4432. 4432, that's the number you can call to contact our ALAC. So you can call to seek legal advice and contact for whatever purpose or report corruption-related matters. So my name is Sam Zota. I'm the Media and Communications Officer at the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. My colleagues, Mark Bwandao and Jerilyn T. Wandi, they've been behind the cameras, making sure our visibility goes beyond this cruising studio. Join us next Wednesday for another edition of the program. Better still, Saturday is a repeat. Goodbye.